Welcome to this comprehensive tutorial on implementing a 3D inventory system in Java. In this video, we're going to explore the intricacies of creating an interactive three-dimensional inventory interface. This is a fantastic project for enhancing your Java skills and delving into the world of 3D graphics. Before we dive into the code, let's briefly discuss what a 3D inventory system is and how it can enhance user experience in software applications, particularly in gaming. A 3D inventory system provides users with a three-dimensional space to view and manage their items. Unlike a traditional 2D interface, a 3D approach offers a more immersive experience. You can rotate, zoom, and interact with items as if they're real objects in a physical space. Now let's get started by setting up our environment. We will be using Java along with the Java 3D library. You can download the Java 3D library from the official website or include it using Maven if you're familiar with build tools. Let's set up a basic Java application that will serve as our canvas for the inventory system. We need to create a main class and initialize the 3D canvas. Now that we have our basic window set up, let's add a drawable object to visualize something in our 3D space. For this, we can create a simple cube that will represent an item in our inventory. Once we have created this class called cube, we need to register it with our GL canvas. We will modify our main method to add the cube as an event listener. Now we should be able to see a glowing red cube representing an item in our inventory. Let's move on to enhancing our inventory system. We will need a way to manage multiple items. For this, we can create an item class. This item class allows us to encapsulate the properties of our inventory items. Next, we need to manage a collection of these items. We can create a new class called Inventory. With our Inventory class, we can now add and retrieve items. Let's demonstrate this in our main method. We'll create a new inventory instance, add some items, and see them displayed in the console. Now we can see our items printed in the console. This is a great foundation for our 3D inventory system. Next, let's visualize all the items in our 3D space. We will modify the cube class to accept item objects. Plus, we will need a way to represent each item visually in 3D. For simplicity, let's create a method that returns a color depending on the item name. Now, let's go ahead and modify the display method in the cube class to utilize this color function and render multiple cubes for each item stored in the inventory. By looping through the items in our inventory, we can visually render each cube in our 3D canvas. Next, we want to include some interactivity. Using the mouse, users should be able to click on an item to view its details. We will need to identify which cube was clicked. To do this, we can use ray picking, which converts the 2D mouse coordinates into 3D coordinates. This requires some math and understanding of how OpenGL works. Don't worry, I will walk you through it. First, we calculate the normalized device coordinates from the mouse click position. After that, we map these to world coordinates. Here's a general method outline for the conversion. Then, use this calculated world position to determine if it intersects with any of the cubes rendered. If it does, display information about that item. Let's implement the Display Item Details method. This will show up a graphical UI element that provides the user with additional information about the item they clicked. Now we have a fully functional 3D inventory system where users can view and interact with items. Before we conclude the tutorial, let's discuss ways to improve this system. For instance, adding animations, optimizing the rendering process, and even using textures for more realistic item surfaces. In conclusion, we've developed a basic yet functional 3D inventory system in Java using the Java 3D library. Remember that there is always room for improvement and expansion.